The India-Pakistan cricketing rivalry has always been an intense one, but in recent times, fueled by off-field political tensions, it has become far more intense and, truth be told, reached points where it's become borderline ugly. Best exemplified by the Asia Cup and a lot of rage-filled celebrations, send-offs, verbal exchanges and everything else that happened during that particular tournament. And whilst a lot of people have understood why that is the case, because after all, this thing is much bigger than sport. It is down to real life political tensions, because a few months prior to the Asia Cup, it had almost reached a situation where both nations were this close to declaring war on each other after the Pahalgam attacks. Now, this obviously is a major thing, right? But a lot of people might actually look at it and say, listen, it is okay to feel bad about this, and actually, truth be told, it's sad. Well, someone who does fall into that particular category is former West Indies captain Jason Holder. Holder was speaking on a podcast and he actually expressed a lot of sadness over the situation and also called for the sport of cricket to be a unifying force between the two nations rather than being one that divides. Let's take a look at some of the things he had to say. First off, he said that I don't like this India-Pakistan beef. Seeing how it goes far beyond the cricket field is just sad, because these are powerhouses of cricket. Now, it is worth noting that Holder is very much commenting from the perspective of his personal opinion, and from an outsider's perspective, I get it. You have seen that at times even nations that have major cricketing rivalries can be friends and be cordial off the field. Just take a look at how it is that England and Australia are. On the Ashes field, they are very much very intense, but often they do tend to be friendly with each other, and in fact some of them do have very good relationships with one another, and once the series is done, they sit down and share a few drinks. That is how a sporting rivalry is. Leave it out there on the field. Unfortunately, India-Pakistan hasn't been like that, and that's what saddens Holder. He went one further and also spoke about how he felt about India snubbing getting the trophy after the final. He said that moments like that feel unnecessary. These things shouldn't be in our game, especially when we talk about being ambassadors to the world. And this really is where he comes to his major point about saying that, listen, it should be used as a unifying force rather than it being something that is dividing. And let's take a look at what he had to say there. First off, he said that a way to soften things is by coming together through sport. If that's possible, maybe it becomes possible in everyday life too. And again, there's nothing entirely wrong in what it is that he's saying. Sport has been used as a unifying force as much as it has been the bedrock of rivalries since the time that major sporting action has been a part of our everyday life. That's pretty much the reality of the matter. In fact, he goes one step further and says that we talk about unity and growing the game. So, let's practice what we preach and bring cricket together and build healthier relationships. Again, a very fair perspective, but it is worth noting whether or not such a thing is even possible as things stand, because the intensity of the cricket ring rivalry, as he rightfully points out, stems not just from them wanting to beat each other in the world of cricket. It's stemming from real life political tensions that comes about due to situations that go far beyond the world of cricket, and that is the sad reality. So unless those complicated geopolitical situations are resolved, and truth be told, that seems unlikely in any of our lifetimes, then you're going to see this intensity continue to be there. Even at a point when India and Pakistan were trying the cricketing friendship thing, remember when we went to Pakistan, then Pakistan came to India, it did end up helping relations get better, even though the on-field intensity remained as high as ever. But even after that, there were political issues stemming. There were terrorist attacks taking place in Indian soil, which then forced Indian governments, subsequent governments, to actually pretty much cut off bilateral relations with Pakistan. Is that something that's sad? Sure. Is it something that's also necessary? Absolutely. Does this mean that sport can be a unifying force? Maybe, but it will also require the political tensions to be solved, and that, should be told, is easier said than done. So whilst I understand how it is that Jason Holder feels, I do also think that his understanding of the matter is not quite there. He doesn't quite understand the major idiosyncrasies, the context behind why this is so intense, and perhaps then, if he would understand that better, he'd understand why it is that things have gotten so ugly. But that's just my take. What do you guys think? Let us know that in the comments below. And don't forget, as always, to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X, and Facebook. And stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.